Yo, what is up everyone? It's your boy Peeps back from Peepsame, and today I am going to show you how to fix every single error code, issues, and any other problems you might be having with your Zen. So this will be a step-by-step, in-depth guide on how to fix your CRONUS Zen. You have to make sure you follow all of these steps one by one, otherwise you might run into some issues. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So for step number 1, we will be going over to the cronusmax.com/downloads. I will leave the link down in the description below, and we will basically be testing the USB ports and the USB cables that we got with our Zen. We will also be updating our CRONUS Zen to the latest firmware to make sure that it is working correctly. So to do this, I will leave the download link in the description below. You will go over here to the site cronusmax.com/downloads, then scroll down a bit until you see the Collective Minds firmware updates tool. You want to download it by clicking the click here button to the right down here, and you will see it will download to your PC. Now I'm going to drag this over to my desktop so we can use it a bit more easily. So once you have it downloaded, you just want to open it up and it will look something like this. Please select your device to continue. So once you have this open, it is very easy to connect your CRONUS Zen. All you want to do is plug in your CRONUS Zen using the top cable. I will put a little picture up on screen now to show you which cable to use. You just want to plug in that cable, and then you want to flip your CRONUS Zen upside down, and you will see a tiny blue button. You want to press this button down for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. And you will hear the little window sound and it will pop up on screen just like this. Now, if this does not work for you and it looks like this, then you will have to try a different USB port or a different USB cable. If you're sure that both the USB port and the USB cable are working perfectly fine, then it is a problem with your CRONUS Zen and you will sadly have to return it to get it replaced or refunded so you can buy another one. This is sad, but it is the only way to fix it at this point. If you have it working and you're now on this screen here, that's good. You can now click on this little tab and you can click begin updates. Now if it does look like this and you have the 0.0.0, then you will have to just download the CRONUS Zen firmware update tool again, and it should be working fine again. If it still does not work though, it is your Zen having faulty memory, and again you will have to return it to get it refunded or replaced. It is the only way to get around it. Another error you can get while trying to do this is the network error. When this happens, it is not something to do with your CRONUS Zen. Your CRONUS Zen is working perfectly fine. The USB cables and your USB ports are also working perfectly fine. It's just a problem with the CRONUS Zen's network system, or it might be your Wi-Fi. Using a VPN might fix this. It might not. If not, then just try again later and it will work. Or try a different PC with a different internet and it should also again work. Now, once your update is completed, it will look like this, and you're done. Your CRONUS Zen is now updated to the latest firmware, and you can now close out of this. So the next thing we will be doing to fix our CRONUS Zen is actually called a hard reset. The hard reset for the CRONUS Zen will wipe all the memory slots, wipe all the settings, and any saved profiles. So make sure you have everything backed up before you perform a hard reset. To perform a hard reset, no USB cables should be connected to your CRONUS Zen, and you want to hold down the big blue buttons on the front of your Zen, the P1 and P2 button. You want to hold those two down and then connect the USB cable to the top of your CRONUS Zen. And the CRONUS Zen's eyes will then flash red, green, and blue. So if the LEDs flash like that, it confirms that the P1 and P2 buttons are working, the RGB is working, and that the firmware is good to go. So if this is the case, you can now go on to the next step. So for the next step, we will be trying our programmer cable and checking if Zen Studios correctly detects that we have our programmer cable connected. So to do this, you will have to open up Zen Studios. If you do not have Zen Studios downloaded yet, go to the link in the description down below titled Zen Studios, and here you can download the newest version of Zen Studios. So once you click on the link, you will be sent over to the website like this. You just want to scroll down a bit until you see the blue download Zen Studios button. You just want to press on this and it will download the latest version of Zen Studios. Once again, I'm just going to drag it onto my desktop for ease of use. And once you have it downloaded, or if you already have it downloaded, you just want to open it up. So once you have Zen Studios opened, it will look like this. And something you might notice is that the Programmer tab is blanked out like this. To make it appear, you will have to grab your Programmer cable, connect it to the right of your CRONUS Zen, and then plug it into a USB slot that we tested beforehand that we know works. So we will connect the USB cable to our PC and it will open up like this. It will show that your CRONUS Zen is connected. Down here at the bottom left, it will also show your serial number and more information about your Zen. Once this is done and the Programmer tab shows up, we know that the Programmer cable is working. If it still shows up like this, saying that the device is disconnected and you don't see the Programmer tab, then you will want to try a different USB mini cable or a different USB slot or both. If this still does not work, then it is a problem with your CRONUS Zen and you will have to return it to get it repaired or replaced. And that is basically it for step number 3. We've checked that the Programmer cable is working, and now we will be checking if our CRONUS Zen's memory and more stuff are working. So for the next step, we will actually be testing to see if our controller is working fine with our CRONUS Zen and checking if our CRONUS Zen actually outputs any controller movements. So to do this, you will just want to head over to the device tab up here, and then you will want to connect the top USB cable into your CRONUS Zen and the right cable to your CRONUS Zen, so the Programmer cable. Once you have those two cables plugged into your CRONUS Zen and PC, you then want to plug in your controller to the left USB port of your CRONUS Zen, the A1 port. Once you have all of these plugged in, you will want to click F3 on your keyboard to bring up this device monitor screen. And then just press some buttons on your controller, check if everything is working. If it just appears on the right and left hand the same, then you know that your controller is working perfectly fine and that your CRONUS Zen is also working perfectly fine. Now we have tested the A1 slots on our CRONUS Zen. You just want to unplug your controller and plug it into the A2 slots, the first of the bottom two slots on your CRONUS Zen. Move your controller again, see if everything works, and as you can see, it is working perfectly fine. Now again, we will want to unplug our controller and plug it into the last A3 slot. Move your controller again, and as you can see, everything is working. Now, if your Zen does not pick up your controller, this is an issue that a lot of people have. You will just want to click on the Reset Device button down here. So once you have pressed it, it might take a second or two to show back up on your screen like it has here. Once it's shown back up on your screen, you want to plug in your controller again and try again to see if it's working. If this does still not work, it isn't because of one of your USB cables or USB ports, because we've already tested all of them. And that then means that your CRONUS Zen has developed a fault and that it will again have to be returned to be repaired or replaced. But if it has worked, then you can now go on to the last and final step, step number 5. So for the last and final step, we will be actually testing to see if our CRONUS Zen's memory is working with our scripts. So to test this, the easiest way to do it is go to the Programmer tab and then go to the Remapper Profiles, the fourth circle to the left, and here you will see a bunch of scripts. You just want to drag these onto every single slot you have free on your CRONUS Zen, so you then have 8 filled slots on your Zen. Just like this, we have 8 slots filled, and then just program your device to the left over here. It might take a second or two to save all of them, so just be patient and wait for it to be done. Now, as you can see here, it says done and success. If it does say that, congratulations, your Zen is working perfectly fine with no faults. You can now go ahead and use your favorite scripts with it, but it might give you an error code like this one up on screen now. If it does give you an error code like this, go to the top of your Zen Studios, click on Tools, and then click on Reset Zen Studios. Just like this. It will say, do you want to continue? It will restart everything and delete all the related files. Just click yes. And as you can see, it resetted my whole Zen Studios, and all you want to do now is fill up your Zen again with 8 scripts. Click the play button again and see if it works. If it still does not work and it gives you an error code like the one on screen right now, then it is a problem again with your CRONUS Zen and you will have to return it to get it repaired or replaced. And yeah, that is basically it for the video. We've tested everything works now. If there's still an issue with your CRONUS Zen, it isn't your Zen, it is you yourself. I'm sorry to say this, but you are doing something wrong. To figure out what's wrong with your Zen, make a ticket in my Discord down below, and me and my team will try and help you figure out what is not working with your Zen. For any other questions and anything else, comment down in the comment section below. I will try and reply to every single comment. Other than that, make a ticket in my Discord in the description down below. I will also answer you very quickly on there. And yeah, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope your Zen is working perfectly now. And that is it for the video. Peace out.